Ugh. It is probably way too late to be filming a video. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your build-ups a whole lot more interesting. Just little tips and tricks that I use with like high-pass filtering and plugins and just little extra spice you can add into your build-ups to make them more interesting. I guess this is a lead on from my last video using the LFO riser. That's definitely one thing you can use, but you can go check that video out if you want to learn how to do those. But before we get into it, I gotta let you guys know about something. I released my very first sample pack today. It's got so much good stuff in it. There's a couple of hundred samples. It's got leads, basses, drums, all the stuff you need to make a full track. You could literally make a full song or multiple full songs out of this whole sample pack. Plus, it's got a massive discount on it for the next 72 hours from the time this video comes out. So if you want to support the channel and you want to support me, help me make bigger and better content, go grab a copy. Like I said, massive discount on it right now, and I promise you will not be disappointed. But that's all I've got to say about that. If you've bought the sample pack, thank you so much. And without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so we've just got a very simple build up here. This is actually the same build up, just stripped back a little bit from one of my previous Melbourne Bounce videos.
Everybody fucking jump!
Alright, so as you can see, that build up is like, it's alright. It's not bad by any sense, but it's a little bit boring. It's just missing a bit of flavor. So there's a lot of cool little things you can add into your build-ups just to make them better. I'm not gonna go through risers and snares and impacts and all that sort of stuff because that's sort of just the basis of a build-up. All we're doing here is just adding in a little bit of extra flavor. So the first thing I'm gonna run through, guys, is using multiple snares. Using multiple snares can just help really add some variation, add that extra little bit of spice that you need. So just gonna grab this snare here and we'll come through and just add in some little snares to see what they look like. To see what they sound like, using our ears, not our eyes. So we'll come through from here. Alright, cool. So as you can see there, it just helps add a little bit of extra spice and something that'll make your build up stand out a little bit better. Alright, so the next tip, which sort of leads on to why I add in multiple snares, is adding a little break in your build up. It can really help with that transition from your breakdown through your build up into your drop. What we're gonna do, we're gonna turn on our breakdown synths, and you'll see what I mean when it sounds a little bit messy. You can see the synths sort of just stop. Like, yeah, they automate down in volume and whatnot, but you don't want them running through your whole build-up. It sounds like they're not supposed to be there, and it distracts from building the tension into your drop. So all we do here, we take out two snares. We've already got them deleted here. Take out two snares there, and we just add in like a little dubstep noise. We're just gonna use this little dubstep noise here and this snare. So this is just all we're using in this break. And then we come into here and we just delete a little bit of our lead that's building up. And then we also delete just a little bit of our riser. So now we out of here, taking out the riser, the snares, and all the other little stuff that you've got with all these little added snares in, really helps create a good transition through your build up into your drop. So doing this little trick, you're able to hear that the transition from your breakdown through your build up into your drop is a whole lot smoother. You're able to have those synths from your breakdown run through the first part of your build up and not sound like they just disappear out of nowhere, because you've got that little break that creates that transition. So the next thing we're going to go through is high pass filtering. High pass filtering can be such a good thing to use in build ups because it really thins out your sounds and helps your drop hit so much harder. Super simple to do. Literally all we do, we come in, we get our EQ and just roll off some of the lows. I mean, open our automation, open our frequency, and then we just come up and take out a little bit of the lows here. And we just grab this and automate it up a little bit. So you can hear it'll really start thinning out that sound as the build up rises. So it's not a massive difference, but you'll really be able to tell between, at the end of the build up, it's quite thin. Then when it comes into the drop, you can really feel the difference in power, which is really what you want. You want your build up to thin out a little bit as it's going up to create that sense of a loss in volume almost, so that your drop sounds like it hits really loud and really hard. And basically do this on all of your elements. On my snares, I wouldn't do it on the first part, but I would come through and do it on my second. So you can see it's just rising up a little bit, just thinning out those snares a bit. And then same thing on my riser. So now you can see the drop's just gonna hit a whole lot harder.
Everybody fucking jump!
The next thing I'm going to go through is using Bass Clef's Easy Washout. This is such a good plugin. It's completely free. It only works for Ableton, but it's basically the same thing as what Dada Life's Endless Smile is. I use it on all of my build-ups and it just makes everything sound so good. That really washed out sound. And it helps your build-up sound big while still being thin, if that makes sense. Just come through, open up the automation, and we'll automate it up maybe 60%. You can see it goes up to 127. If you do it up that high, it's going to sound way too washed out like this. If we come down, we go to about maybe 80%. So you can see you've got the sound still thinning out, but still sounding big. And we'll come through and we'll do the same thing in our snares, just not nearly as much. Just a little bit, maybe 30%. And we'll do the same thing on our riser as well. The riser can go up to maybe 50%. And then we'll come through on our breakdown leads. And you can see I've already got it here on my breakdown leads, but automating up so it helps them disappear a bit. So this is what we've got.
Everybody fucking jump!
Now, the next thing isn't really a build-up trick. It's something just to make your drop hit that little bit harder. And it's something I use on all of my tracks, and it's just turning up your very first kick by 1 or 2 dB. Turn it up by 2 dB maybe. So you can see with it sitting at 0.
Everybody fucking jump!
Like, yeah, it hits hard. Turn it up by about 2 dB.
Everybody fucking jump!
It's not very noticeable within the song, but it really helps that drop hit so much harder from your build-up. That's one really good trick that I use in pretty much all of my songs. So the next little trick is just some volume automation. Just come into your master channel, onto your mixer, track volume, and you literally just highlight right through in your build up and just automate it down like 2 dB. Starting at 0 from the start of the build up and ending at -2. Doing this can work super well, just automating everything down by a couple of dB. It won't be super noticeable within your build up, but once you get to your drop's gonna sound super loud and it's gonna hit really hard. So you can really tell the difference there. Just that tiny little bit of loss in volume within your build up can make your drop hit so much harder. But that's all we've got for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you smash the subscribe button, give the video a like, drop some comments, do all that sort of stuff, and make sure you go buy the sample pack. It would mean the world. Help support the channel. But again, thank you so much, and I will see you on the next one.